This is Diana Sullivan in Austin, Texas. I'm doing a hand-tooled edging that's easy to do. I'm using a 7-stitch transfer tool arranged this way. 3 prongs, then pull a prong down, then one up, one down, one up. And I'm using 18 needles total I've cast on, and I have marked the rightmost needle, and then I've counted in 5 stitches and marked the 6th needle from the edge. And those marks were put on with my Crayola washable marker here and here. So to begin this edging, I'm going to use this tool with the 3 prongs together on the right hand end and do a decrease. So I have grabbed the stitches on it, pulled out, pushed in, take a step to the left, and make sure that all of the hooks are caught by the tool, and then put the stitches on. Now I always have to remember to remove this one empty needle on the right. I'm also going to use a 3-in-1 transfer tool over here to do something extra and make the stitch look a little more interesting. After the stitch that's doubled up, which is right one right now, I'm going to take this tool and move 3 stitches over so that there's actually 3 stitches on this needle, and then 1 and 1 and then an empty. Be sure to leave all the empty needles in work and knit 2 rows. Row counter 2. Make the same move starting on the right hand stitch and move everybody over on this side over to the left by 1 step. Make sure all the needles are still in work except for this empty needle on the far right. That has to be moved back. Then take the other tool with the 3 prongs, bring the 3 stitches to the left of the doubled up one, move over by 1 step, and put those on so that there are 3 on this needle, then 1, 1, and an empty. Knit 2 rows. Row counter 4. Do it again. With the 3 prongs on the right, move in toward the left, take the extra needle out of work, and then take the next 3 stitches to the left of that and move them on. Knit 2 rows. Row counter 6. Now take the same arrangement with the 3 prongs on the right and do another decrease. Do another move on the left. Take the empty needle out of work and knit 2 rows. Row counter 8. Do the same thing one more time. This is the last of the decreases. That empty needle's out of work. Knit 2 rows. Row counter 10. When I get to row counter number 10, I am down in my number of needles so that my rightmost needle is this one with the mark. Now it's time to start increasing. Increasing's easy. We're going to take the same tool, configured the same way, and pick up all of these stitches. Take 1 step to the right. Oh, I have a split stitch. We don't like the yarn to have splits in it. So let me do that again. Good, got everybody. Take 1 step to the right. I have to put another needle out. And then lay those stitches down. Now, over here on the left, we're going to do something a little different on the increase rows. There's a hole and then there's a stitch, and we are going to move these 3 stitches over to the left. Again, to make this a little more interesting. Knit 2 rows, row counter 12. Now we're going to increase again. Again, lay this tool on the rightmost stitches. Take a step to the right. And again, I had to put another needle out. Over on the left, after this last hole on the left, and then there's a stitch by itself, I'm going to pick up 3 stitches and transfer them once to the left. It's the other direction from how I transferred these stitches. And knit 2 rows, row counter 14. Take this tool and do another increase. Take this tool, pick up this last stitch after this hole, go to the left of it, and make a transfer to the left. And knit 2 rows, row counter 16. Do another increase. I have to put another stitch out, another needle out, I should say. Do another leftward transfer over here. Again, just to keep things interesting. And knit 2 rows, row counter 18. Now this will be the last increase. Do it the same as the others. And this will be the last of these leftward moves. Knit 2 rows, row counter 20. Here's how the wrong side of this lacy edge looks. Now, this is a repeat of 20 rows. 20 rows is pretty easy to follow on the row counter. The next one will be done when we get to row 40 and then row 60. And we'll know that we're at our smallest, narrowest part after we do row 10. And when we get to row 10, it's time to increase. So, since this is a repeat, I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to do a decrease. So I take these stitches onto this tool, take 1 step to the left, remove the extra needle on the right, and then, just to keep things interesting, I'm going to get the next 3 needles with my tool after the doubled up stitch, and that triples up that stitch when I make 1 step to the right, knit 2 rows, here's this edging without any blocking, just a small sample with 2 repeats. And I'm going to go give it a steam and show it to you steamed. So here it is after a quick steaming. Now, how much you want this to be pointed is partly up to you. If you want to put it on a blocking mat and put a pin in the points and really yank them out, that's your option. But I think it is really a very pretty edge to put on a shawl or some other fussy project.